What's talking? That's right, me. This video is about 18 things that show you have ADHD. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor and I don't have any medical background or knowledge. This video is meant for comedic purposes only. This is not medical advice. So let's get into it. Number 1. Can't concentrate for more than 3 minutes at its best on a certain topic without interruption. This is kind of one of the main things where you can kind of maybe see, maybe you do have ADHD. I have this so many times where I'm working on something and then I'm like, YouTube recommended, or this, or Discord message. Yeah, this is probably the main thing. You can't focus. You definitely have ADHD. Number 2, when you go shopping, you look at everything in the store. And I'm not just talking about the products, I'm talking about the goddamn ceiling, about the floor, about basically everything. ADHD basically makes you a child. So yeah, keep that in mind. Number 3, you touch anything if it is possible. This is pretty self-explanatory. If somebody, it's the same thing if you have like a knife on the kitchen table and you're like, ooh, and then you grab it and you're like, fuck around with it. I do that all the time, and it's not just knives. It's kind of just everything. Like if you see something, a fun figure or something on the table, you will grab it. Number 5, you interrupt people all the time in their conversation. This is kind of a basic ADHD thing where people have an actual interesting conversation about society and you just interrupt them to let them know that this meme is very epic. Number 6, you switch topics in conversations very fast. This kind of has to do with the low attention span, where you talk about something and then you're immediately, well, also this, and then you talk about something else. 7, you got kicked out of class or had the big talk with a teacher for being too energetic. I think every person with ADHD had this. Like I now know about, I think about 6 or 7 people have ADHD. All of those people had a conversation with their teacher about them being too energetic. So yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. Number 8, you have to move your body every 30 seconds because I don't know, why not, you know? Like you can't sit still. Same with in class or just on a bench or whatever. You just have to move, and it makes sense because you're epic and you have way too much energy. Number 9, you talk too loud. I mean, do I need to say more? I mean, I'm not really good evidence for that because I talk fucking like very, very low in my videos, but in real life I talk very loud, and I think every ADHD person does because again, the energy. Number 10, it's probably more just me, but from what I've seen, ADHD people or people with ADHD don't really have the filter. So they just say some random shit and they're like, okay, again, probably has to do. I think the thing is that people who have ADHD are just a child, basically. Like, not trying to offend anyone with ADHD, but that's pretty much how it feels when you talk to someone with ADHD or have ADHD. Number 11, you throw a lot of items. I mean, that's just a thing people with ADHD do, I guess. Number 12, if you drink any type of soda or energy drink, you will turn into a nuclear power plant. And yeah, that's basically because with ADHD you have a lot of energy, so when you drink something like anything that's just soda related, you will fucking kill your friends in like 10 seconds. I have this all the time. I drink too much cola and then I go into Discord calls and it doesn't end well. Number 13, you're annoying and bad with family and friends. Number 14, you try to scream every chance you get. Again, has to do with the energy. You just fucking go sicko mode on people and just scream and talk loud. And basically everything, if you haven't noticed already, and I said it already many times, you're just an obnoxious child. 15, you get these weird energy shocks when you sit still for too long. This kind of is the you can't sit still, but I have this, and I think it's also with autism, but I'm not sure, where I just sometimes sit and then I just get this like weird body shock or something because I sit still for too long. This might also mean that I am an actual nuclear power plant, who knows, but yeah, father just pointed out. Number 16, you have at least one other mental disability as well. I literally don't know any person with ADHD who doesn't have another mental disability. My theory still is that, and it kind of makes sense, because mental disabilities like overlap each other so much that if you have like at least one in your brain, your brain gets rotten and you just get dyslexia, ADHD, autism, just everything combined. You get the full package basically. 17, you don't have the patience to read a book or play chess. A low attention span is already necessary with ADHD. But if you really want to figure out if you have ADHD, this is probably one of the things. If you can't read books, you don't have the patience for it, or you can't play chess, that's already a sign. I'm sorry. 18, the final one, you're very cool and just better than anyone else. Basically, if you are very cool, it probably means that you have one mental disability, because that's how that goes. So yeah, I would say if you have about 13 of all these signs, and yes, I am a verified doctor, you definitely have ADHD. If you have about 10, that just means you are annoying. If you have 18, that means you're an actual child. And if you have 0, then I don't know, then you a basic bitch. Anyway, that was the video. Honorable mentions.